100 men versus 100 gorilla. You think I didn't actually want to discuss about this, but something you need to know about me, I am a man of the people. And as the man of the people, I will discuss this really urgent matter. If you a hundred of a bunch of stupid baboons such as us Homo sapiens could defeat one massive silverback gorilla. The matter has gotten so serious that I'm even wearing my thinking glasses right now. Oh wait, they're upside down. Now that's better. See, if my thinking glasses were on, that means this discussion must be serious. And I mean serious, I mean silly. This meme has gone through my entire Instagram page for almost a week, and I couldn't avoid it. It was like the gorilla wasn't actually avoiding me. It was like the 100 men was inviting me to fight the gorilla, and I wouldn't do it. But now that the meme has become so powerful, it even went to the news, and it's it's serious when the meme goes into a news station.
We needed. You might have seen the simulations, the memes by now. One gorilla, 100 men. Who would win in a fight? The internet has a lot to say.
Gorillas aren't built for long fights. They're like sprinters. They explode for about a minute, and then they gas out hard.
Man, I'm taking that gorilla. Man, do people know how big those silverback gorillas are?
Explanation, because obviously no tools are allowed.
If we have 100 men out there who are willing to die, give me the men.
Now, right from the moment of the beginning of the TV news, we have already shown that some of the people here already started to thinking of strategy, who would win, and who would probably, fight this 100 gorillas. A lot of people here contributed. This is a pretty silly meme. This was just a meme. Some people on Twitter must have gotten drunk, and it's like, yo, who would win? Like 100 gorillas? 100 men or one gorilla? I mean, just think about it, bro. And then the other guy's like, that's pretty crazy. And then they start thinking about it. Can the gorilla just be tired? Can the gorilla this? Like, which gorilla are we talking about? Female gorilla or male gorilla? What 100 men here? It's the same thing. What I would be asking if I was asking these questions. These are basically male questions. If you don't know, like male questions, like, yo, dudes, who would win? Like 100 T-Rexes or like one Mosasaurus? If the Mosasaurus was like able to walk on water. These are the exact questions that everybody will do if they're actually bored, such as like me. Now, to be honest, I also had the same thing. Like, what is there allowed? What is the situation? Are we in the playing fields? Are we in the jungle? Can we have weapons? Probably not, because that would be cheating. We would have guns. But what about melee weapons? Can we grab a stick? Can we sharpen the weapons into a stick? Can we use a rock to throw the gorillas? Can we strategize? Is the gorilla super healthy, or does the gorilla has like herpes or something? It was so weak it couldn't move. Can the gorilla swing because he was in the jungle? I don't know if gorillas can swing or something. Or can the humans, are the humans? Oh, that's the thing. What are we talking about? Are these 100 humans, or like the average Joe who works in a 9 to 5, working in a, for their lives and, not earning a bit? I haven't left the chair since like last October. Or are we talking about 100 Joe Rogans, the Rock Johnsons, and 100 UFC fighters? Or maybe are we talking about like 100 adults who just, was a construction worker, because, construction workers, or 100 MMA fighters? We don't know. We don't know what the specifics is. It's just 100 men, one gorilla.
Okay, here's what's not a critical thought. Let's visualize this for a little bit. We're talking about a 400-pound animal that can grow up to 6 feet tall.
Right from the beginning, we can already see the stats here for 100 gorillas, 400 pounds. I don't know how that, contract to kilograms, whatever. It's 5'5" all the way to 6 feet, okay? And it's 10 times stronger than a regular human. But then I actually researched this, and it says actually 4 to 5 times stronger than humans. I don't know which one is right and which is wrong. Let's just say 4, 5 times. Let's round it up into a 5 times stronger. That means like 5 humans times what other humans? It's probably 100. I don't know.
mostly guys, we have spent way too much time today thinking about all of this, to the point that we actually created a very unofficial Stay Tuned Now poll at work with like 63 to 38%.
It is true. The peak humor of male brain is thinking if Oonga Boonga brain can fight big Oonga Boonga man. Now, this is a interesting statement. 38% of people would believe that the 100 humans could win. I mean, 100 humans is a lot, like, yeah. But then it's a silverback gorilla. It can literally crush your skull and everything. It could lift up a car if it can. But strength isn't the only thing that's important. We need to know, like, speed, stamina. That's the only thing I know. Now, I did a little bit of research here, and I heard that gorillas are less faster than the average human can run. But with them, hopping around like that, it's kind of, somewhat, fast because, people are jump. But I guess adrenaline could hit you and then you could just run away. Depending on where we are, if it's like in a giant playing field, you can run anywhere. 100 men will just scatter around. Now, they even brought a scientist, zookeeper or whatever, zoologist, to debate this, and he said, like, yeah, I think the gorilla would win, but I think the humans would win. And that's not a good answer, man. Like, who would win, man? Who would win, 100 of us or one of them? We don't know. Now, what is my silly answer to this? Or my silly strategy to do this? My answer is, I don't know. Okay, 100 humans is a lot, but we can't see what those 100 humans are. I just don't know. Without proper research on who said this and what is allowed and what is not, I cannot do this, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't tell if the gorilla has something that we don't, or is the humans allowed to do something that is, unorthodox, and I can't tell you the predicaments. Sorry for the sudden movement. Things just happened downstairs. Now, the big question is, what about me? What is my opinion? How do we defeat the gorilla? You guys just, unlocked a new location here. There's a Minecraft poster there. But don't worry, I got a strategy. So I would keep looking in the internet. It's just like a basis of playing fields, 100 guys. The average average male is probably 5'6" or whatever. He was, he's working in the 9-5 job, who can bench press or something 100, almost a few pounds, and speed is top notch. Is about less than 20 kilometers. So here's my strat. So see, that's 100 of us. That's one leader. I don't know who that is. Maybe like a actual stronger person. And that here is one gorilla. Now, the strat here is this. We moved like 40 or 20 dudes here. We angered the gorilla by doing the classic technique of this, because everybody knows if you do that to a gorilla, they're gonna be really pissed. Sorry if I used that voice. Sorry. Next, we use these guys to take off their shirts. Don't worry, there's a good reason why. They take off their shirts, maybe their pants, maybe it's that too far, and then they turn it into a really long rope. Okay? Now hear me out. Once the gorilla is distracted here, the rest of the men will try to confuse the gorilla through its speed. Okay? So there are some deaths. Okay? There are some deaths, but that is the sacrifice I'm willing to make. The gorilla continues to attack the rest of the men. So what are we hitting here? We're basically one just stride fights where the gorilla is trying to, charges up his attack speed like this. The other person will like public punches there. So it's like a Naruto jutsu thing where they attack on the opposite sides of the gorilla, and we're just making him confused. Just don't get hit if we want to survive. Some of you don't survive though. But in war you're gonna have casualties. So after the men here made the rope, they're gonna use it to strangle the gorilla right there. So let's say this is the gorilla. The men will go around the gorilla and then use the clothes as a tag. They tie it up. They tie up his arms and most importantly his neck. They pull his neck, so we chokehold him with that. If he tries to break through, we just pull back with the rest of the men, and he goes down. It's better if he goes down because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And then we just continuously beat the living heck out of it, and then we continue to choke it. Then we continue to blind him. Actually, we're supposed to blind him in the beginning or something. We kick his nuts, we kick his butts, and then we continue to punch him, and we're just gonna give him a lot of bruises. The focus here is probably the face. We can't beat his arms or anything, so avoid his arms if you want to, or maybe 5 or 10 guys will definitely hold his arms. This is already a ruined photo here. And his legs, well that's the thing. Break his legs because those legs, look at those gorilla's legs, they're so small. Boom, those legs are destroyed. We continue beating up the gorilla. If we can't find anything to beat him up with, just continue to strangle him, to suffocate him. Just start. This is a bit violent here, but due to survivability of men, it's okay. Then boom. A few minutes later, gorilla gone. Humans win, no death. Any questions, class? No, exactly. Now, who will be the people who will do this? The answer is, I believe criminals because they would deserve it. Win the gorilla fight, die. Yeah, sure. And if you win, you get your freedom. I don't care if your hands get ripped from them. I mean, you're an evil criminal. But maybe the criminals are super evil, who didn't deserves to be in prison or deserve the death sentence, or who wants to go to the death sentence. That would be perfect. I mean, some of the average men are in there, and probably they bring shanks. Or I don't think shanks are allowed. But anyways, yeah, that's my top research in man versus gorilla theory. I hope this would be intriguing and really make a good video here. About chewing gum, gonna help make my brain move. Yeah, that's it. Gorilla versus man. Who wins? Don't know. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Yeah.